Hey, welcome to this episode of Let's Talk. This is the show that you ask us questions and we answer them. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. So we're doing something a little different today on this episode of Let's Talk. In light of the new Marvel or Avengers game, we're going to be asking superhero questions. Let's get started.
This is right up your alley, huh?
It is.
All right. First question that we have. Which Avenger will you play with first?
Like any other Avenger game, it will always be Spider-Man.
Why would it always be Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's always been my favorite comic book, like Marvel comic book.
Yeah.
He was that regular teenage, like someone to relate to as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like one of the most powerful, underrated superheroes.
I don't think he's underrated.
Oh, you would be surprised.
I've always seen him as being like one of those elite guys. Like he's always in the mix of everything. He's always involved with everything. Majority.
But people more take him as a joke character. They don't realize how strong he is or like what his powers are actually.
Yeah, but he gets shit done.
He does.
That's the thing. He gets shit done. Plain and simple. Like, doesn't matter what it is. He gets it done.
Yeah.
You know, reliable guy. I agree. I mean, I do like Spider-Man. I do. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Who I would play with in the game first. I mean, Marvel's always one of those things where, like, the Avengers specifically, like, Iron Man's cool. In a way, you know, kind of.
My favorite.
I know, but because I like Batman so much, he's just that rich guy that has a lot of money. And he can buy everything he needs. There's no superpower, but just buy the weapons that make you a hero. But with something like that, though, I might switch around and go, I might play as Thor. I mean, I don't really know. I really don't. Because I don't want to play with somebody like, let's just say, like, whatever, Hawkeye or somebody like that, because it wouldn't be my first character to jump to. The Hulk, maybe.
See,
but I've never been the biggest Hulk fan either. So for me, the Avengers is kind of, I don't know. In all truth, I'd probably go play as Thor first.
yeah.
Just because, you know, powerful.
Yeah.
Let's just go and demolish stuff like that. Or I mean, the Hulk could do the same, but I'd probably jump to Thor, fly around and just lightning everything.
If it came between Thor and Hulk, I would pick Thor.
That's
Just
what I mean,
Thor's always been that.
But yet again, that Hulk video game that came out way back when,
Yeah.
that was fun. You're just smashing stuff. Hulk smash, picking
Yeah.
up cars, putting them together like boxing gloves. So that might be fun if you can do that in the Avengers game. Not a great game, don't get me wrong, but it was fun for what it is.
In a video game, it would, for me, would always, like, it's a Hulk video game. The point of it is to smash. There's no point other than to just destroy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like an Avengers, like, story-esque game, Hulk just, he's one of those characters that just put in there for fan service and to have your overpowered,
Yeah.
strong guy kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me.
But see, I would go Spider-Man as well, except after the last Spider-Man game on the PS4 and how the traversing the city was so much fun, are they going to be able to replicate that?
Well, I guarantee
that amount of how flawless it was.
I don't think so.
And that would be like a step back to me playing a game like that as Spider-Man. I'd be like, oh, this isn't that fun to traverse the area.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? Like,
it's in that video game. It was open world.
mm-hmm.
This Avengers game, I'm pretty sure it's not. Oh, it's story-driven, level-based, where it's you can't really fly around the city.
But that's what I'm saying though, is like even if it just in that area where you're playing, you know, you're still gonna be able to traverse.
Yeah.
Like in all Spider-Man games, Ultimate Event or Ultimate Alliance, those ones you can still traverse that battle area.
They'll have that,
but is it gonna be as flawless and fun at the same time? And is there gonna be the combos? Like, see, Spider-Man to me after that last Spider-Man game, because like we've discussed before, they're always fun.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the game, just traversing the city's always been something they've excelled on.
Oh yeah.
It's been fun. It's not like the Superman games that were crap. You know, flying around, it's boring. Spider-Man's were fun. So if you're taking that element out of a game style that people are expecting,
yeah,
myself included, and you don't have that mechanic that's flawless like that, it's gonna take a lot away from that experience playing with that character. That's why I'm sticking away from Spider-Man as my first, without playing the game first. Again, this is my opinion. Without playing first, I would stick to something that's like, okay, well, I'll just stay on the ground and use my hammer and smash it with instead. I'll fly up in the air and come crashing down, because you can't really mess that mechanic up. You know, like,
you'd be surprised.
You can, but you can't mess it up as bad as that free flow. Like swinging around in there, you know what I mean?
For me, like, up until the last Spider-Man game, it was never flawless. Like, you were shooting your webs into nothingness, but they still swim.
Yes, but now they set that bar up there, so everything has to go on that par now. Anything below it, you're just like, this sucks. It's true. It's completely true.
For me, I'd be taking it as those old Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Well, then you're a better man than I am.
Yeah,
because I would literally be like,
it's Spider-Man for me. As long as I'm Spider-Man, I'm alright.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm alright.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that it is, because I would love to play as Spider-Man and then have that enjoyable experience. But as my first character, I would pick. I would have to go with Thor. Just to try that out, or Iron Man even, because again, the Iron Man games were actually fun to play. So if they use those mechanics and have a lot of those going, too, like shooting rockets, shooting laser, like whatever it be, again, you're more used to that. Whereas swinging around and getting that flawless, I would be I'd be bummed out though. I'd say for me, I'm scared it would ruin that experience of the enjoyment that the game could be on my first playthrough if that was shit.
True, but I'll find a way to have fun with Spider-Man. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, that's great playing online with people, and hey, somebody be Spider-Man swinging around. I think it would be great to see. Like, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. But yeah, mine would be Thor, and I guess yours would be obviously Spider-Man. All right, what's your favorite superhero game?
Favorite superhero game? Well, see, I'm a superhero fan. Like, a lot of them, like, just fall short. I'd go with, like, the old school Ninja Turtles, or, like, the Batman arc. All the new Batman games, like, hell's that Wolverine from the movie game, like, those were like good Spider-Man games, the Spider-Man movie game. Like, I don't know if I could pick just one.
Well, which ones would be your favorites? And pick like 2 or 3.
Oh, it'd either be Batman or Spider-Man. One of those two games.
Which Spider-Man?
The newest Spider-Man. Like that.
My favorite Spider-Man game, I really did like the last one a lot. I just thought it was a little easy, but I spent a lot of time like, it's kind of almost like a GTA style where I'm just dicking around a lot.
Yes,
and it was fun. That's what made it fun. But I mean, for the actual game, it was my favorite Spider-Man game was Spider-Man Dimensions.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that game. I love the Spider-Man Noir thing that they had with the one realm. I thought that was great because it really reminded me of Batman, and I really wanted to play that game again. I just keep forgetting to. But as for like my favorite games, I'm in the same category as you, because there's my favorite ones. They're very different.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I'm gonna go with Arkham City and Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the Batmobile, but I don't care.
They should have put that.
That 100%. I wish you didn't have to play with the Batmobile.
They should have put that on Batmobile.
I loved those two specific. Arkham Asylum was amazing too, but I love the open world of Gotham and being able to go through. I love the everything about those games. I like the upgrades. I like the gadgets. The definitely
it made you feel like you were back.
It did. Like definitely the Arkham games are, again, probably my favorite games. Yep. But I also got to go back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, not 3 so much, but number 1 and 2. I remember playing number 1 on the PlayStation 2. And then on the 360. And then I remember playing it again on the Xbox One. Number 2 is kind of, I played, and I actually recently downloaded, about a year and a half ago, downloaded it on the Xbox as well. Number 2. And I still have my sealed copies of 1 and 2. And I'm like, I just want to play these games.
Yeah.
And even though they're nothing like spectacular mechanic wise, like you're just running around, they're fun. They're back to that old days of just having fun, whether it be sitting with a buddy playing or even playing solo. They were fun. And I still remember, even though I was never the hugest Deadpool fan, I always played as Deadpool. I loved his teleport grenade attacks. Pop in, jump up, throw grenades, teleport back out.
I hated that. When they gave that Deadpool like teleportation as a mutant power, I hated it so much. Like for me, it wasn't a mutant power it was technology that he had. Like it was a teleporter like button.
Hey, game wise, he was fun to play with.
He's always fun.
He had everything like little bits different. Like I was never the biggest Deadpool fan, but playing as him in Ultimate Alliance games was always just fun.
Yeah.
But I never went and played Ultimate Alliance games where you had made up your teams with like the Fantastic Four, your Avengers, I always had fun with my guys, right?
It was always a Spider Family for me.
Yeah, see, I'd switch it up. I'd have like Deadpool, Wolverine, I'd have Magneto and somebody else. Then next time I'd have like Ghost Rider with like Moon Knight and Deadpool and
I did do like
somebody else. I like to change it up.
The new Fantastic Four, where who was it? It was Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man. Who was the last one? Blanking out on the last guy. I cannot for the life of me remember who the fourth one was.
I don't know. I'm not really the biggest of Marvel.
But, yeah, it just when I saw you could pick them, it was amazing for me.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, I always just because of the cast of characters you had.
Oh yeah, it was,
when you got to play as Venom for the first time, Carnage.
Yeah.
All these guys, it was great. Like it was just like, wow, who cares how many times you ran through it? You're just having fun.
Yeah.
But when number 3 came out on the Switch,
I never played it.
It just didn't have that impact on me.
No.
Like again, the cast of characters are there. They put the Guardians of the Galaxy guys in and stuff like that.
I think they were trying.
They're fun.
They were trying.
You know what, man?
To rekindle.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's a new generation. Bring that back into things. It was just, I don't know. I didn't get that oomph when I was playing it. Like, you were playing it. It's just like, okay. I mean, it's not bad. It's not like it's a poor game. It's better than to me. It wasn't better than an average game. I didn't have the drive to be all excited to pick up my Switch and play it all the time. It's like, okay, I'm going to play it to run through it. And eventually you're just like, when's this board done?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's like number 2 for Ultimate Alliance always blew my mind. A lot of people prefer number 1, and I know that, and I understand that completely, but for some reason number 2 specifically was just like, this game is fun.
Yeah.
Like I think me and a couple buddies played it nonstop for a couple months. Just running through it. Didn't matter how many times. We'd each have to pick our characters, and then, like I said, there'd always be, everyone had their own.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're playing solo, you make your own. But I was always Deadpool in it. Or Magneto. And still, if I played it today, I'd probably still pick the 2 same. Because it was just one of those things you're so used to them. It's like, but I have like 30 or other characters to play from.
I hated switching characters in that game. If I had to switch from like Spider-Man to somebody, it always threw me off.
Oh, it did for a bit, but I mean, that's what gave that game such replay value. Like I'm pretty sure we did eventually play all of us as each character in it once or twice or something like that through it.
Well, I tried all the characters, but
see, that's the thing. I didn't. There was characters I just didn't care to play with.
Yeah.
Right, and then when you don't care to play with them, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
Then you get those guys where it's like you're expecting it to be, boring and whatnot. Then all of a sudden you're like having a blast.
Yeah.
That was me with Ghost Rider. It's like all I'm doing with the chain. It's all I'm doing. It's all. But then it's like, whoa, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then let's group up and get that team combo hit together. It's like those are awesome.
That with friends, and they always screw it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun game. Those were my 2 though. Obviously, it's the Batman games. They just blow my mind. Yeah. There was another game that I did play back on the 360 that was an arcade one. I don't remember what it was called. It was a shooter game where you're playing as either Batman or the Joker, but like your own various ones. Gotham something it was called. I'll check it out. I'll put it in the link below because it was fun, and it was like you're playing with stupid guns.
Mm-hmm.
It was Gotham something. It was a lot of fun. We played it for a few weeks. It was just on the 360, and I cannot remember what it was called.
Was it the gang stuff?
Yeah. Where you like, one team was Batman, one team was the Joker, but like you could customize
Honestly, I
it a
never
little
played
bit.
it. I never played it. It was always like that one game that I was like, what is going on with this
That
game?
was fun. That was fun. We played it for a few weeks then.
Yeah.
I just don't remember what it was called. But yeah, those would be my 2 games though.
Oh yeah. Well, Batman. I have to pick. If I had to pick one, it would be anything. Batman, any Arkham Batman game. Those were. I was Batman.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right on. Who's your favorite hero and villain? Let's switch just a little bit though. From the DC and from Marvel.
Oh, Batman, Spider-Man, and villain. Villain. I don't know.
So you're my hero one though. Batman, obviously my DC. For Marvel, man, I don't know.
I honestly don't know who like.
I mean, I might have
From
to
Marvel
go.
villains, like I loved all like the villains, like.
My villains, I know. I just can't think of my Marvel hero because I do like Spider-Man. I mean, I grew up on Spider-Man, but I also really always liked Wolverine. But pretty much everybody likes Wolverine.
I just liked Wolverine because he was Canadian.
He was just a cool character.
Yeah, but when I found out he was Canadian as a kid, it was like, yo, he's Canadian. All right, you get a couple points for that one, but
See, my villains are very simple. The Joker for DC. The Joker pretty much for anything will be my favorite villain. Just no rhyme, no reason. Gotta love him. And as for Marvel, I have 2. I loved Omega Red. I always did. He was just one of those cool characters that was like, oh, he's pretty badass. And Magneto.
Magneto would be one of mine, like, just because he's that, like, he's not doing it because he's a bad guy, like, he's doing it for
His cause.
Like, it's just, you know, his views.
Are different than others.
Exactly.
Like everybody in the world.
DC. A villain for DC, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know.
See, I'd picture you to think somebody like Lex Luthor, but then I
wasn't
against that. No, I could see you liking from DC.
There's a few I like, but like I get over that. Like they're not villains I like get attached to. Like there's never been that one villain in DC that just like the Joker, like the new comics with like the Dark Knights, like the Batman who laughed, like that dude, that he's crazy. Like that's Batman and Joker like put into one. Like that's scary. But like I would think that's just a cop out for me. Like to like say that, it's like I don't know. I don't know for DC. Like it'd be a tough one because Batman villains, like let's be honest, like they're other than the Joker, like Bane's pretty like underrated. Like people don't understand how.
No, fans of Batman know how good.
Well,
Bane
yeah, like Bane's like
badass.
He's not just like all venomed up, like just like all.
But you look at other people too, though. You look at like Scarecrow. He's a great villain too. Penguin is a great villain. Batman does have great villains, and it's good because they don't have all these superpowers.
The Riddler, like
those are your standard villains though with Batman, like
with the Calendar Man, like what was that? Quilt Man, like like then we could go back into like
That's
some
what I mean,
obscure ones, but like it's yeah.
Stumped on your favorite DC villain.
Yeah. Like there's so many, like I don't know, like not even Doomsday, because he's just like whatever. I don't know. I honestly don't know, bro. I could not for the life of me pick one. Couldn't. There's just too many to think of, and then it's like you start finding faults.
Fine then. Who's your favorite sidekick?
Who's my favorite sidekick? I'd go Robin, but like Damian Wayne. He's been the best. In my eyes, he's been the best Robin. Like way better than like anyone. Any of them. Like,
I'm going Alfred.
Alright, you win. You win on that one, bro. You win on that one. That's like it's like me picking Crypto though. Or Bat Cow. Come on, bro.
Hey, it just says who's your favorite sidekick. He is Batman's sidekick, is he not?
I wouldn't necessarily call him a sidekick. Like
He cleans off his suit, cleans his car.
just go to battle with him though.
You don't always have to as a sidekick.
Well, I guess like he's always there with him.
See? Picks him up when he's down.
Huh?
So you can go with your Robins. I will stick with Alfred.
I'll stick with Damian, bro. Damian was badass, bro.
I'm not saying he isn't. I just... not big on the Robins.
That's why I would pick Damian. Like he's the only Robin in my eyes that like is like an actual like he's not just like a pushover like Dick Grayson like
Yes.
okay like yeah he's everybody's favorite Robin, you know what I mean, but like he's just everybody's favorite because like he was the first, like everybody grew attached to him, like and, like Jason Todd, like he deserved to die and stay dead. Like Damian Wayne's like he for me he's being the only Robin that deserves the cowl, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So, what kind of hero do you prefer? The anti-hero, the dark hero, or the good guy hero?
I'd go with like the anti-hero, like dark, a guy that's not like hurt some people.
But yeah, your favorite character is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, but it's like, well, other than like Deadpool in Marvel, like that's like, or Punisher or stuff like that. But, like, Deadpool, yes, like he's an amazing anti-hero, but he's only been a hero just like recently, really. Like he hasn't been a hero that long. Like he came out as a villain, like badass villain.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man's always been my favorite just because I grew up with Spider-Man. But like, if I'm gonna read a comic these days, like I want my hero to be like someone that's not gonna like he's gonna put a guy down.
See, that's the same I am. Like, I like my darker heroes, obviously Batman. But even as a child growing up, I was always partial to like Spawn. Never liked a lot of Spawn, I gotta state that, but I think the character Spawn is cool.
Spawn I never really got, like I loved the movie, like but I never really got into it. Like for me it was just
I liked when
God,
he was badass.
devil, like,
No, my thing with
threw
him
me
was
off.
I liked when he was badass. I didn't like when he was all emotional.
Yeah.
That was my only problem with Spawn. It's like, you're badass when you're badass, but then you're gonna go cry in a corner about something, but then come back and be a badass again. That was kind of my only thing. Even like the Punisher. Punisher, I thought was great. There's this guy on strict vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go mess shit up. You've killed my family, done. Don't care
They
anymore.
gave him way too much credit to like he's just like
he was a man on a mission.
He's a man on a mission, yeah, but like, come on, bro, come on. Like, I understand, yeah, you don't like Batman doesn't have any superpowers and he's like badass. Punisher, like I never connected with him. It was like badass character, whatever, but Never really got the point of it. Yeah, like I get the whole
You need
they kill my
something like
family.
You need something like that in a universe, though. That tragic story meets anger.
They're all tragic stories, bro.
How? Well, yeah.
All of them.
It's a sad world they live in.
Oh yeah.
Who do you think would win the fight? Justice League or Avengers?
Just because of Batman. Even take out Superman. Even take out Superman.
That's what I
Cut
was just
Superman.
gonna
Yeah.
say.
Cut Superman
Okay,
out of
Superman.
the
Batman beats
equation.
Superman.
Cut Superman out of the equation. We don't have to put Superman in the equation. Batman versus Marvel. All of the Avengers. Batman's gonna win.
Or Spider-Man.
Yeah. You fuck Spider-Man up, bro. Fuck Spider-Man. Oh, sorry. Excuse my French.
Do you think comics are good or bad for children?
I think they're good.
Why?
Why? Yeah, there's violence in them. Not even that much violence these days, but like, there's violence, this and that. But it still teaches you right from wrong. Like it connects you with those characters. It gets kids into reading. Like, yeah, it's pictures, this and that. But like, if a kid's not gonna pick up a book, give them a comic book. They're still reading. Like it's still. I don't know why people complain about it. I really don't. It's if a kid's reading.
People complain about everything anyways. Whether it be
If
comics,
a kid's
anything.
reading, they're reading. Like,
Well, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it's a form of entertainment, and they're reading. But then you have people saying, "Oh, they're so violent. It's this, it's that."
the world's violent.
No difference in reading Shakespeare.
Exactly.
There's
The world's
tragic
violent.
stories left, right, and center in every Shakespeare thing, except your child's reading the words and looking at pictures.
Yeah.
I think comics are good. I think anything that gets children
Builds
into
an
something.
imagination. Like,
Builds an imagination. Plus, again, the good guys majority of the time win,
yeah.
right? So perseverance
Yeah,
comes
exactly.
through. So I don't know. I think that comics are fine for children. I mean, I'm not saying throw them like a Lobo comic or a Spawn comic and being like, here, read these right away when you're 6 years old.
Yeah.
But reading a Spider-Man or Superman, got nothing wrong with those.
Exactly.
Where were we on this? Oh. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I was waiting for that type of question.
Any superpower. Go straight up. Like Professor Xavier or something like that. Like to control people's minds. You're unstoppable, bro. Like legit, you're unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
You'll do anything in the world, anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Give me all your money. Yo, go put yourself in jail.
So that would be your power?
Yeah, bro. Oh, unstoppable.
I think that'd be most people's power in general, though. Trying to think outside the box on that one.
Like what?
I kind of think, teleporting, you're getting yelled at by someone's like, see ya. Wife's yelling at you, disappear.
Is your wife yelling at you?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody, again, these are very predictable ones you're
Yeah.
answering with, saying like, oh, that would be your power. Everyone would say
What
that.
would you rather have? Invisibility or to fly?
Probably invisibility, because I only like heights.
That's true. That's true. That's honestly true. Yeah.
So, but I'm trying to think outside that whole, the ultimate power. Like, of course, you want to be Professor X and control everything, or
You could go
mess
like
up with people if you're
ultimate
bored.
power and like go Thor, like stuff like
No, that's not me.
Superman.
I just think it's more generic that they're going. It's like, would you rather, again, fly, invisibility? Would you rather, be able to play with fire or turn things to ice? Kind of X-Men powers minus like the ultimate X-Men powers. Like with Magneto, same thing. His power's amazing.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing you can't really do,
Well, yeah.
right?
Unless you're in a room full
Unless
of
you turn around and say, "Oh, I'm going to be Superman." Well, then
Yeah, that's
again,
just-
it
I
takes
hate
away the
Superman.
fun of the actual.
I've always hated Superman.
Yeah.
I always have. There's no story, bro. Like, okay, yeah,
Oh,
you
he's
have
got
kryptonite
a
now.
story. It's just
Too strong.
I-
Too strong.
that's kind of what it did for me. It was. It's like
Too
there's not much you can do with something that's like that.
too
Again,
strong.
you get Batman. Batman beats him because genius he is.
Well, they've always
But-
gone back and forth. Like,
No, I know, but
you know what I mean.
But the fact that someone can
always
beat him, all it
been
takes at the end is kryptonite. Boom, there you go.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I've never really been the biggest Superman fan.
Superman.
But I don't really know what power I would pick, because I said that you summed it up by saying Professor X's telekinesis
Yeah.
or telepathy, sorry. But thinking outside that, because I think everybody would pick that, I don't really know. Probably visibility or teleporting. Because there's times when you're sitting at the office, like, I wish I was home. Boom, I'm home. That'd be sick. Oh, I want to be in Cuba. Sick.
Yo, bro, fly me to Cuba.
Again,
There.
don't like the heights. You're on a plane. Do you think superhero movies should be based on real life or stick to comic book versions?
Well,
So the reference here would be Dark Knight Rises, Bane, a mercenary, normal,
comic book.
meet
Comic
or
book
differs from
versions.
the comic book version.
Comic book versions, bro. Like that's why your movies like fail. Like don't try to make it a real world explanation. Like superheroes, bro. Like that's all it is. Why do you need like
I think
Bane's
it
mercenary?
depends.
Bane, yo, how's a regular mercenary gonna break Batman's back? Come on, man. You make Batman this an unstoppable genius. And like, oh yeah, I'm a mercenary. I grew up in like jail underground, and I climbed my way up. Now I can break your back. Come on, bro. Come on. No. Give him Venom. Then I can believe it. Then that's But no, Batman. Come on, bro.
I don't know. I think it depends on a lot of what they're writing it on, though. I think sometimes with real life stuff, it kind of does have an impact.
Well,
Again,
yeah, like,
depending on the characters, right?
in the
Depending on what's going
story,
on,
but
and depending on the
not-
story they're going with.
but not the characters. Yeah, the story based on it, like say like
Okay.
real world events.
So hold on. So let's take Dark Knight Rises as an example because that's what we brought up. So I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was good.
I liked it.
It's Batman out of that trilogy.
Yeah.
It is my least favorite of the three, but I still enjoyed it. But let's take that for a second. So how would you have made that story where it's still enjoyable, but saying, oh no, Bane now has Venom that makes him stronger, and keep that same story going? Just have him in the corner shooting up? You're like, oh, I need this.
Yo, do like he has his like tubes and everything. Like what was it? Batman and Robin.
But then
They went way off the hinge with that.
100%. But that's what I'm saying.
But
Is
like-
if they're trying to make it more of a world where it's like
That's what I'm saying.
make belief in the aspect that, but it's that possible reality, then you can't change. Like the way they did that was good. There's this crazy revolutionist story.
That's who Bane is in the comics.
I know, but therefore it's more real to life by making them that way.
in the comics,
and keeping all of Gotham.
Bane is still like that smart and intellectual.
I agree. I'm not saying I'm
can
not
still do
arguing.
that.
But how are you going to all of a sudden incorporate that? Oh, where does Venom come from? Then the story would have had to alter and take a different detour, explaining why he's got this, why he's like this. So he came out of this prison.
Where did Scarecrow's fear toxin come from?
True,
You know what I mean? Like it's that kind
but
of stuff.
he
Like,
plays such a little intricate role in. We're just talking about Dark Knight Rises again.
Yeah.
That it really doesn't. He's not in it.
yeah, but it's still
Like
in
in
that
that trilogy that
same
he's there.
world.
It is, but
still in that same.
But they
world,
don't
like,
they don't go on him as being like that type of character. Whereas Bane, it was Batman and Bane.
Yeah.
Those are your two main characters. Catwoman's your next character. No, but hold on. So at this point in time,
Yeah.
you would have had to completely detour that story, and you would have had that same function that movie was. Correct? By making it be like, okay, now we got to take the script and make a little side part where it's like, okay, we got to explain how he got this Venom, what this Venom does. So I prefer in that scenario what they did in a more real life scenario where it's a crazy ass mercenary that's pissed off and
I don't,
You know what? Wants to bring the world to how it is.
I don't even think you'd have to explain it like.
Yes, you do.
Like that, like the venom, like have a little thing like, yo, he uses this venom.
But where did it come from? What's I'm saying? Wait, but they're just saying, that now Wayne Enterprises made this venom or somebody.
Like put it as LexCorp or anything like that. Like you have these little
that series has nothing to do with other
LexCorp was in it though.
No, but it doesn't have nothing to do with anything. So how are you going to explain that when they're not you don't have these other characters that they're with? That's my difference. I agree with you when it says stick to your comic book versions, but there are certain scenarios where you know what, bringing it more true to real life, I find to have more of an impact, and that one I literally found to have more of an impact.
I don't know. For me, I don't agree. Like I look at it as it's a comic book. It's based off a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
If you know who Bane is, okay, yeah, explain the venom, like do a little like 2-minute origin story. I don't even know where this underground prison came from. Like,
but they described what the prison was. They did all this. I'm saying adding more to a movie where all of a sudden, okay, now he's got this super steroid venom that's,
you could.
It would have cheapened the movie. It would have cheapened the movie.
Oh, it would have cheapened the franchise.
So therefore,
because it was
that's
from the get go.
That's what we're talking
but from the get go, if they did Batman Begins, like the first one, with that kind of comic book feel, you wouldn't have to explain it in depth where this venom came from. If it started off that way and kept on going, it doesn't.
I'm saying I still, with the real life or stick to comic books. I like that they stuck to real life with that because I think that's what made that impact. There's this, if you want to call them pseudo-terrorist group, where their leader is Bane. Awesome. It was a great movie. Good impact that they had with it, and that's a real life guy though, not somebody who's like has a super venom in them to keep him going, and it made the movie flow. I said not my favorite in the trilogy of it, but I really do think that what they did.
It weakened Batman in my eyes.
But
in that sense,
but
lessened Batman.
But for me as well, at the same time, well, they made mention of it. This guy's got he's super fast, super strong. Look at the veracity that he has. Alfred says it to him. Says it to Bruce.
Because he's like...
And because he's... Yeah. No, but they explain that though. Because Batman's walking around with fucking cane for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
His knees are done. Like, there's reasons. At least they explain that, why this would happen. Where you're like, but it's Batman. No one can mess with him. Okay, but he's broken. So when somebody's broken, there's his weakness. Now Bane comes in. The next, the apex predator comes. Boom. Jumps on him. Ergo... There's that solution. What happened there?
Broken.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Comics, anything.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's someone else's interpretation of it, though.
Exactly. No,
that's what I like about it, though. That's what I like about it. That's my real life.
Yeah.
The real life scenario to it. I think that plays well into that. Whereas I couldn't see Spider-Man being more true to real life.
Even Spider-Man, though. They make it more real life-esque. Like there's no, you know what I mean, like, well, the new ones at least, like I still love them, but it's still like the Avengers, any kind of movie like that, like having like the Scarlet Witch, like her powers came from the Infinity Stone. Like, no, she's immune, bro. Well, put that in there.
Yeah, okay, but movies, you always got to take that into consideration. It's like books to movies. They always change.
Oh, and that's what I'm saying.
They try and simplify things easier for the better audience to understand.
I get
everybody's
why.
Going to read everything.
I get why.
I just personally think if they're going to do a series, we'll say, like, let's just go with the Avengers, because whatever, or Spider-Man, keep it set to one of those offshoots that they're doing. Don't make it like, this series, and then, we're going to make the second one, we're going to have a little bit of this series, and no, we're going to do the third one, but we're going to switch over to this series.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the way they did Bane, they had to do it that way because of that's the world they put him in. What I'm saying is, I would have thought, like, if they made it more Batman, like Batman comics, it would have, for me, like, it had the potential to be that much better for me, like to make it that much more.
If it would have been, but I said for what it was, I really enjoyed the fact that You can see what they did, what
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan did, and it was
I
great.
enjoyed the movie.
To me,
I liked
that's the
Bane.
thing.
I
Even
liked
the
it
breaking
all.
of the back,
Yeah.
Batman's broken down.
I
He can't
liked it
move
all.
as much as
I
he
liked
does
it all.
anymore.
It's just
But
I
that's
wish
what I mean. That's why I like how they
would've, like,
explained all this. So like
Yeah.
people like with the way you looked at it, being like Batman, like he's not going to lose. Okay, but he's at the doctors. They're showing.
I understand.
That's what I
Like,
like
when
about
I'm
it.
watching the movie, it's like that's my Batman. Like that's Bane in this world. I get it. Like that's who Bane's gonna be.
Yeah, but
But for me, it's more that wish. Like, yeah, those 3 movies were really good.
Mhm.
Ben Affleck like Batman, like yo, he's.
that,
I love Ben Affleck.
but that's
like,
the Justice League.
yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like all these Batmans, like they're all different.
Yeah.
I just like that trilogy. Like, I just find DC like they're having so much trouble making it a comic book movie and a real life movie. Like
Okay,
they
but that
can't
was-
choose.
So
Like
yes.
that's what I think their problems
So
are.
100%. But that's what I'm saying is I like the real life of the Batman trilogy that they did. I really do, because then when you look at Justice League movie, Batman versus Superman. Even though I actually enjoyed Batman versus Superman, because I take it for what it is,
Yeah.
you can see that they're trying to do both, and it sets it off.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like, yo, stick to one.
Exactly.
Don't make it real life.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why
Make
I
it
like with a
comic
trilogy
book.
where it's like, no, you know, Ra's al Ghul is our first villain. Boom. Joker as our second. Boom. We got no superpowers with these
Yeah.
guys. Why are we going to give the next one a superpower?
Ra's al Ghul.
Boom.
Like, it was a good thing. But I wanted him to come back. Like, I wanted the Lazarus pit.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just like, it's the
Everybody
comic
want-
book
everybody-
fan.
I know,
It's the
everybody wants
comic
more
book
and
fan
more.
in me. Like,
Take
just
it
like
for
saying,
what it
like, yo,
is.
I want to see a comic book brought to life.
Mhm.
Like, even Marvel has trouble. Like, the only one I honestly say is like true to, like, not even true to it, but like is Deadpool. Like, Deadpool to me is like the closest thing for me. Like, that's Deadpool from the
No.
comics for me.
Well, that's also the actor. Ryan Reynolds makes
Yeah,
it
well,
what he is.
he is Deadpool. Should never have been Green Lantern.
That's what I mean. Like, literally, like, he was actually good as Green Lantern. No, there were a couple good one-liners in that.
Yes.
But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, because I liked Green Lantern. This is a good example too. When they were on Earth, as soon as they went to the planet, I couldn't stand the rest of the movie.
Oh, they messed up.
That
They
was my
messed up.
problem with it.
Yeah.
It's like I had the same thing with Thor though, because granted Thor did change because when they're on Asgard later on, it was kind of cool. But when the first Thor movie,
Yeah.
I thought was great. When he's on Earth, this and that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like when the
Let's-
heroes are on Earth.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching a movie that takes place in space. Guardians of the Galaxy, yes,
Yeah.
okay, you're expecting it to be space. All these things. You know? Superman, when he goes into space. It does throw me off, even though you have to, but I enjoy the Superman movies when they're on Earth.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have that relation
Well,
here.
that's what the comic books are to
But that's what I mean.
is
That's what I mean.
defending
That's what I
Earth,
mean.
this and that, like,
But where you deal with the actors now, like we we're saying about Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, yeah, he made Deadpool
Yeah.
because he's the perfect fit for that role, as everybody sees it now. You know, witty, one-timers,
yeah,
all
he
these
was
things. And
always
it's
the
great.
perfect role.
But it's great for him. So he makes that role, which makes it popular now. But as for like other movies that were good too, like Wolverine movies were good.
Yeah.
They were like just really good movies. Even if you're not a comic book fan at all, they were entertaining, action-packed, good. Like they were really good.
I like the later ones. Like,
It doesn't matter which one. They were all good. The first one was good. Logan was great,
Logan was a really good one.
right? But you go back even, you know, let's start back in the 90s. Blade. Blade 1 was a great movie.
That stuck true to it.
No, but they're sitting there just making movies up out of these things where it's like more real world. Like vampires, yes, they don't exist,
Yeah.
but they made it how they did it in a real world setting.
That's
where
how that's how it is in that.
That's what I mean. But
Unless
they're
you want
integrated.
to
But they're
Marvel,
integrated
it's
with
like-
us,
yeah.
and it was cool. There's your real world,
Yeah.
right? Whereas, you know, I couldn't see them doing. I can't even think like the Incredible Hulk movie, which were terrible, both of them, but
We can't
more with a real world where it's like, oh well, he's not fighting with what was the Red Hulk's name?
Red Hulk.
No,
General. Oh my god. Oh my god. General Ross. Ross.
Whoever it was.
Ross.
Okay, whoever it was. I don't remember his name. But it's like that. Because then I can turn around and say Godzilla or King Kong.
Godzilla. Gojira, bro.
There we go, buddy.
Gojira.
I love King Kong. But I think that just Godzilla is just too good.
Alright, guys. Well, after that little argument, I think we should cut it off before it gets bloody. And we have a little war of our own. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a question and a comment down below. Have a good one.
See ya.